Why does it feel like every day in America is like waking up to a bipolar fever dream? Either the news is completely horrible or it's just good enough to keep us wanting to have some hope. We're dropping bombs on Iran. We could be going to war soon. That's horrible. We're starting to have Democratic Socialists win primaries. That's pretty good. So then you get that little bit of hope, and then he does something that just crushes it again. The first time he was in office, it was just a daily embarrassment. He was like, can I nuke a hurricane? And people were there to say, no, we shouldn't do that. Then when the hurricane went by, they said, your storm path was off a little bit, Mr. President. And he grabbed a Sharpie and said, no, it isn't. Yep, he was the first president to ever gaslight a hurricane. But this go round, he was like, you know what? If I put people in my cabinet that are just as dumb as I am, then I can do whatever I want. Without the judicial branch, this country would have collapsed in weeks out of sheer stupidity. But then he tries to go around the courts and we protest, and then he does something else horrible and we protest again. And all of our screaming and bitching and moaning is finally getting to the Democrats to the point where they're starting to pick up the fight a little bit instead of writing strongly worded letters. But one thing that we've learned along the way is that the establishment Democrats, they want to be ineffective because they're paid for by the same people that are paying for the Republicans. Okay, there are way too many people in the store doing this shit today, where they keep their cart over on one side and they look at the other side of the aisle. I hate that. And sorry I'm having to record from this angle because if I do this, then I get Star Trek lens flare. But the back and forth gets to be exhausting. Trump drops bombs on Iran, but we can hear from a whistleblower that it wasn't that effective. But then Trump says he's going to go to war with whistleblowers. But the thing about that is, anytime that an American president declares war on something, usually it blows up in his face and he's embarrassed by the way that it turns out. And usually they accuse the left of declaring war on things like the war on Christmas, the war on religion, the war on patriotism, the war on gas stoves. The war on women's sports, the thing we never cared about until we learned that trans women existed. I don't even know what's happened today so far because I haven't even bothered to look at the news today. I decided to give myself the morning off. And I really hope there's not a lot of people watching this going, oh, wait until he finds out. Anyway, I'm about to go pay for my groceries, then go check out the news to see what kind of bullfuckery I've been missing out on all morning. I may just be scrolling on TikTok to find out for a little while, so if you can think of anything that I probably should know about, let me know in the comments. It's time to go check out, so I'll check you later.